If you know someone addicted to pornography, I'll give you my perspective. This is a spiritual perspective, nothing science based. So if you are looking for scientific answers, um, move on, keep searching. Maybe the internet will give you some answers, maybe it will suggest some pills, some hormone therapy, or some other stupid method, and a few years later the person will get addicted to something else. So you may help someone, the person you are looking to help, you might help that person temporarily, but a number of years later the person will get different addiction, or maybe two more addictions. In a spiritual world, in a Christian religion, there is a story related to evil attacks, and the saying is that if you get rid of one of the demons, it will return with seven more. And that's kind of the explanation. The person is lacking of love for self, love for others, and love for God. It's a higher energy emotion that these people lack of. But if you look at this person from outside, you will see this person having maybe other addictions, but also having some sort of a depressive attitude. So this person might swear a lot, might smoke, might look at the negative side of life, and it might be a liar, might be a person who don't trust anyone. So those emotions are low vibe emotions, are closer to survival. So people who are in survival mode, they will generate this type of emotions. Like they will lock the doors, 5 locks, put 5 security systems in the house, cameras, will get these ideas, crazy ideas, that the world is ending and everyone is stealing from them. I mean, I've been through depressive thoughts a lot, and I kind of know the feeling, but because everyone is unique, everyone, including the person you are trying to help with porn addictions, is unique, and they have different type of feelings and emotions. But like I said, generally they are the low vibe emotions that are not related to love at all. So they are totally opposite to love and unconditional love, because they are at a survival level, and they don't understand their own reality. They experience their reality, but they don't understand it. And they the only thing they don't need is judgment, accusations, pointing fingers. So if you see a dog that's hurt, you don't kick that dog because it's already on the ground. So you try to help the dog, but generally the hurt dog, will bite you back. So most people avoid the hurt dog, let the dog alone. The dog might die or might get help from someone else, someone who has more energy to spare. But generally people don't help this type of dog. Same thing with people. If you see homeless, nobody want to give a hand to a homeless. So your friend, the one you want to help dealing with pornography addiction, is not very far from that state. It's a person who is lacking love, lacking energy, and likely that person, if the person is religious, likely cannot pray from the heart. So it's an energy deficiency, and these people lacking of this energy, the loving energy, they know, because they search, they discover that there are activities that generate pleasure, and they will look for this type of activity. So you see people addicted to coke, smoking, sweets. I tell you, when I was younger, yeah, I was maybe 7, 8 years old, I was eating sugar with a big spoon. Yes, I was addicted to sugar, and my parents didn't know because I was hiding it, and I almost got into diabetes. And I did other stupid things, but of course, from that reality, from that perspective, I didn't know is anything wrong with that. People generally don't make the connections. Okay, addiction to this leads to that, because the change is very slow. It's hard to process the change. It's that slow, from a depressive thought, from an addiction to another addiction, and to self-destruction. People never stop to the same type of dopamine level. They will need more and more. Yesterday I met a person um, who was doing an extreme sport, and this person I never met, but I was part of that extreme sport. I will call it paragliding. I used to fly, not a lot, but I used to fly, and I knew a bunch of my friends were very depressive when the weather was not very good. So when the weather was not good for flying, those people were depressive. And I talked to this person yesterday, and he is the same. So he has highs of good feeling, especially when the person does some extreme sports, including mountain mountain bikes, like riding the motorcycle on the, or dirt bike, I would say, on the mountain trails and stuff like that. So, and not only that, he gets adrenaline from some other activities. But like I said, people start with dopamine generating activities. Like I said, very innocent Coke. Yeah, people drink Coke and it's loaded with sugar. Then very tasty foods. Yeah, you will see people seeking these fast food restaurants because they offer very tasty foods. Chinese restaurants, same thing. Japanese restaurants also abuse of using a MSG and other type of taste enhancers. So they give pleasure to the taste buds. So those are very, they appear very innocent, but people are, when they cannot find love, the soul is crying, and they will keep seeking, but they get bored of the same type of Chinese food, the same type of Coca-Cola, movie, theater, going to from pub to pub, getting drunk. So those get boring after a while, and people want more. And like I said, some people make to the next step. If they can get some adrenaline, and if they have some courage, they would go for adrenaline as a quick fix and short-term replacement for the dopamine. Other people get into drugs because they want higher. So the soul pain is so great, they want higher dose of dopamine. So the dopamine, you can't, it gives you a kind of a plateau. You cannot increase the dopamine. Even if, let's say, you dump lots of super sweet sugar, the dopamine level does not increase to get you a higher buzz. Same thing if you drink alcohol, you get a state, but then if you drink more than that to get more intense state, it's no more intense. It's just you get sick. You start vomiting, and it's not good feeling. So people know, okay, if I get 2 drinks or 3 drinks, then I get a feeling. That's the chemistry of the body. Some people can take like a full bottle of vodka and then they get the buzz. Um, with adrenaline, it's kind of a short burst and you can get higher. Now, with the drugs, there is a plateau, but people know if I take more, it kind of lasts longer, is more intense. That's why people get in addiction with these street drugs, and they exceed the limits and they get overdose or they get into some sort of a state, but they don't care because, like I said, they don't have luck. They don't have a love for themselves, don't have a love for anyone else, and they are just destroyed lives. They are gone. So nobody cares about those people because they don't care about themselves. So coming back to this porn addiction, so people want some sort of a dose of dopamine, and they know porn can offer that. But let's say if you watch porn and you get an arousal, you get a feeling, or it's a pleasure, and you get the pleasure, especially the adults get the pleasure because they have already the conditional reflex built, telling them this pornography or a porn image or sexual image leads them to retrieving a memory, their own memory about having sex, and it's pleasurable. And some people go to the next level. So let's say they watch porn, and generally at first, when the first few experiences, they have some patience, but after a while the soul urge to get some sort of a relief from the pain the soul is suffering. And why the soul is suffering of pain? Because something is sucking that energy. So when people lack of energy, like a life force, they are very, very low, and it feels like something is not right. So like I said, some people are calling that soul crying. Yeah, soul is crying for connection, but actually if you start thinking deeper, if someone could inject some high energy into that body and soul, they start feeling good. And how I know? Because I sent energy to people through pictures or in person, and people start feeling good. Why? Because they don't have that lack of life force. Other people believe that the demons attacking and sucking this life force out of people who are sinners, the demons get some extra energy and now they are cool. They are not stealing from these victims. So you can see it this way from the religious, spiritual perspective. So the demons who are feeding on this dirty soul, if they get a boost of energy from outside source, let's say someone doing Reiki, someone doing energy healing, a prayer, a powerful prayer, those people can give these demons something extra. So they'll have that energy they need, and they won't eat, they won't steal from their victim. So you can see it in different ways. But if you look at some science, some pseudoscience, the lack of energy make that person feel depressed, feel low, and they think that the dopamine makes them feel higher, but actually it works in the opposite way. People, like I said, people doing drugs, they don't get extra energy. They get some sort of a biochemistry change that makes them feel high, but actually that's not higher energy of the body. If they have, let's say, if someone give them Reiki energy, to these people, for a while they would stop doing drugs. But probably nobody did the Reiki experiment to these drug addicted people to see if those people would really want to do the drugs. If they do it, is because of their habit, their programming, or like they know, the body knows at this time of the day I need the injection or whatever drug they take. Same thing with smoking. But I think this experiment would work well before they get into these heavy addictions. Now, this coming back to this pornography addiction, there is another thing, another type of people. There are adults who are not happy in their relationships. So let's say a woman who's addicted to pornography has a husband who is suffering of depression, and the husband is never smiling, never happy, is always grumpy, always finding something to bitch about, to make comments about, and she's depressed. But she naturally want to feel loved and also want to see loving people. That's the nature of positive people. They want to see loving people, smiling people. And also she would love to make her husband happy, but the husband doesn't touch her, doesn't get close to her, because he is now being under attack, under spiritual attack. So he has lack of energy and doesn't have desire, doesn't have sexual desire to get close to his woman. And so she is crying, internal crying for affection. And also she wants to give love, and it's a human nature to give love and make other people, make the partners happy, and not only partners, but even I'll give you a silly example. Most people love to see other people laughing, so they want to make jokes. Lots of people want to be little temporary clowns because they love making other people laugh. Because in their mind, their subconscious mind, laughing equal happiness. It's not true, but that's the thing they perceive, because they smile, they see teeth, okay? That means it's opening. So when we see someone's teeth, kind of a smile, it's in the subconscious mind is the idea that the person is open to communication, open to, I don't know, opening the heart, kind of like that. The men also have a programming that, I'm going to say it, but anyway, it's up to you what if you give some stupid interpretation. So the men also, when they see a woman smiling, in the subconscious mind is the idea that she's open to procreation, she's open to sex. Like when she's opening her legs and vagina, the man knows she is kind of is ready to procreate, and that's provide the guy with a feeling of happiness, maybe accomplishment, conquering, or just a sexual pleasure. But happiness is the emotions most people seek. And coming back to the woman who's addicted to porn, let's say, and she is trying to make her husband happy, but she can't. So she, while watching someone else happy while having sex, she gets that feeling, because what she needs is a smile. It's a smile of a guy, and if she sees some dude on a porn movie or a homemade movie, doesn't matter, the guy smiling or the guy makes some sounds or whatever, she might feel that she is part of the scene, and she gets that smile, or she gets the orgasm, or she gets the emotions, and she feels like she is part of that. And it's a surge of pleasure, and it's not, like I said, it's not only the conditional reflex making her think of her own sexual experience, generating dopamine and pleasure. It's not only that, but just that smile or that just that emotions that she sees on the screen, or if she hear the neighbors. Some person